Hello everybody, this is Tohtori, and today I'm doing a full post-commentary battle with the Macchi 202 flying on the Ruhr battle. I'm squadded up with Chameleon Lord, who is flying an ME-410, which is of course higher battle rating aircraft than this Macchi. And yeah, this is basically a high tier 3 battle rating game against the British. So I'm going to be expecting Typhoon Mark 1B lates, Spitfire Mark 9s, things like that. And I'm just taking off and doing an unloaded extensions here to climb fast. This aircraft climbs really well, by the way. I love flying it. We are at 700 meters already, and I'm leveling off to establish a more normal rate of climb here. Now what I'm going to be doing first in this battle is trying to climb towards the center of the map to intercept any fighters that might get there, and also to spot any bombers that are incoming, so that my squad mate in 410 can intercept and destroy them. This Macchi doesn't really have the guns for destroying bombers reliably, so I'm just going to mostly stay away from those and concentrate on the fighters. So, what can I say about this aircraft before we enter the battle? This is an Italian fighter, tier 1, which is quite absurd considering what this plane can do. It has the same engine as the BF-109E3, the DB601AA. It's just a license produced by Alfa Romeo. It can reach a speed of 600 km per hour at around 5,000 meters altitude. And on dive, it can go, I don't even know how fast it can go. It can go fast enough for most cases. It climbs at about over 20 meters per second. I don't know the exact figure as well. You can easily climb at 24 meters per second with low fuel. I'm usually flying with 30 minutes of fuel with this aircraft. It's nice enough reserve and allows you to fight for some time before you have to return to base. Now here you can see Chameleon Lord flying his 410 in my 5 o'clock low, and I have actually spotted an aircraft directly ahead, 12 o'clock, slightly higher than me, if you can see it against the clouds. I'm zoomed in now. I have already told my wingman that I can see the bomber. The flag is just opening it up, and he told me that he can see it, but he can't get to it because he's too low at the moment. So what I'm going to do is make an attack on this bomber. See it. At this point I identified it as a Wellington. So I make one attack with these 4 machine guns and smoke this left engine. So I'm going to just make like a tree and get out of here, because I don't want to linger in the effective zone of those gunners. But the bomber is smoked now, and my team can see it much easier now. Right about this point Chameleon Lord told me on comms that he could see another target somewhere behind that bomber, so I turned back towards the enemy area of the map and start looking for the target. And sure enough, there it is, 12 o'clock level. I'm going to dive a little to gain some speed and approach to identify the target. I'm not sure if he has seen me at the moment. At this time I can identify it as a fighter of some sort, but no idea what it actually is. He seems to be climbing, not sure if he has actually seen me yet. At this point I see that it's a Typhoon, and it's actually flying inverted. So he had seen me and was doing something. Maybe he was trying to set for a head-on. Couldn't do it in time, and now he's just diving very fast. But the Macchi is also a very good diver. If you look at the speed indicator, I'm already at 600 plus kilometers per hour. And I'm just basically tracking this guy. To the left is the enemy's small airfield, and I sort of want to avoid that if possible. But I feel like I can chase him down here. I'm not sure if you can see him in the video against the trees there. I just heard something and checked if there was anything there. And yep, we are now at the same altitude at very low level. He's still making his way away from me. He's faster aircraft, of course, than this Macchi, but I'm still carrying a lot of speed over from the dive. And what I'm gonna do is just keep chasing him down, and eventually I hope that he will either turn to climb or turn to face me again, at which point I can close in and start fighting him. There he goes, he's turned up now, and he's going to lose a lot of speed in that kind of climbing turn. As you can see, the Macchi can now catch up to him pretty fast. But what I don't realize is that he has actually went back to his base and he's slowing down for landing. So I take one shot at him and then turn away, but as I look back I realize that the flak has hit me and my plane is leaking at least oil with black smoke. And possibly water, I'm not sure about that. So what I do is immediately turn away, start climbing towards our home territory. I could make it way faster if I just stayed level and accelerated, but I have no idea how bad this oil leak is, and I know that eventually it will kill my engine, and I want to have as much altitude as possible at that point so that I can make it back to home base in case the engine dies. So I just keep climbing at about 300 odd kilometers per hour. My water was overheating at this point, so I had to reduce power a little bit. Now I'm just turning to a shallow climb again. This area of the map is actually between the enemy's bombing targets and the enemy's small airfield. So the flak is pretty obnoxious right here. I'm just trying to avoid it the best I can. I keep checking my 6 occasionally because this kind of smoke usually attracts a lot of attention. There for now. Turning a little bit so that I can check my blind spot. I can see a fight going on to my left there, but at this condition I don't want to get involved in that, because if I get into a prolonged dogfight my engine will eventually die. Here I thought I heard something behind me, so I checked. Nothing. And when I turn back again, there it is, an enemy fighter trailing me. He's been attracted by the smoke, and so I started diving, and he actually also turned his plane to dive below me. He was probably hoping that I couldn't see him, so he's actually trying to catch me unaware by diving at higher speed below me and then turning for a belly shot, but since I know he's there, I'm basically just diving shallowly towards the airfield, and the Macchi can keep up a respectable speed at that altitude. So I'm just keeping an eye on where he is and listening to how close he might be. Basically I just want to get close enough to the airfield that I can glide it back in if the engine fails before I start to fight him. Now I can see the airfield or some friendly flag starting to open up on him. But I keep going nonetheless. There's the base on the 1 o'clock, and now I'm close enough that I can start dealing with this guy. So I start a light turn to the right. I'm just tracking him with my eyes. I'm not sure if you can see him in the video. Here he comes. I hit him there a little bit, but the replay shows a little bit of lag, so that's not always reliable. Yeah, and he puts it to the ground, and that's my second kill. So now I'm going to check my surroundings, and since I don't see any enemy aircraft here, I'm going to just put the plane down for repair and reload. Engine is now at idle, and I'm actually not losing speed quite fast enough for my comfort. This kind of speed is too high for a nice landing, but I'm gonna land anyway because why not? I can still do it. I prefer to do 3-point landings, but wheel landing works as well. The only thing you have to avoid is to not use too much brakes so that you don't nose over. And once I'm a little slow enough, I'm going to turn away from the runway so that if there's any enemy aircraft approaching the base, they might not see me as easily. And now I'm just waiting for the plane to reload. And there was some sort of plane just crashed there, but I have no idea what it actually was. So I'm taking off from this small airfield. And basically what I'm going to do now is just try to find some fight that's going on that I can get into. I think I saw something come up from the flak gun there, so I tried to check what this might be firing at, but I don't see anything. Keep scanning the environment. Yeah, it's definitely shooting at something, but I can't see what. And these AA guns have a tendency to sometimes shoot at targets that don't exist, or shoot in the completely wrong place. Okay, they are not always reliable indicators that there's some enemy activity there. There's 2 friendly Focke-Wulfs there. Of course, in the gameplay, I couldn't actually tell they were friendlies. I just have the icons enabled for this replay, so that you can get a better idea of where friendlies are and where enemies are. Now I can see some tracer fire there at my 2 o'clock. There's definitely a fight of some sort going on there, so it's about 5 kilometers out, and I can make it there in a short time. So I'm diving down, accelerating, and trying to make out what's going on there. because of course again in the actual battle I wasn't seeing any of these blue icons there. Now when I zoom in I can see one plane falling down, what looks like a dead spin, and one friendly aircraft crashed and one enemy aircraft crashed, so that's one for one. But I can see a friendly 109 chasing an enemy plane and an enemy plane chasing him, so I'm going to be concentrating on the plane that is going after the friendly 109, and I hit him there lightly, no visible damage though, so I'm just turning after him now. My plane is basically the most maneuverable aircraft in this battle, so what I can do is bind these guys into a dogfight so that my faster teammates can destroy them, and those two guys actually rammed each other there. So again, one enemy and one friendly aircraft down. And now I can see an enemy Spitfire coming after me. It seems like a Mark 9, probably an F model. And he tried to turn up to me. That was a pretty good maneuver on his part. I just could see it coming and evade accordingly. This plane is a very nice aircraft at low speeds, but now there's a problem because there's two of them here. I'm just hoping that my team members can support me while I'm trying to shoot this Spitfire down. And there he loses some control surface. I think he needed that part. I put some more shots on him for good measure. He loses an aileron and I leave him be. So now I'm just trying to look for the other Spitfire that I saw earlier. And there's my third kill. That's the Spitfire that I shot up. And this guy is the one that I saw earlier. So pulling up a high wing over. And he's trying to outturn me, but I have a pretty good position here. Just slot back to his 6 and reduce throttle there so I don't overshoot. And we are now basically in scissors. He's reversing it again, but this plane is, has lower stall speed than the Spitfire. And there we go, 4th kill. That was a neat wing removal there. And I was attacked by a 3rd Spitfire, but I could luckily avoid it and managed to recover from the stall that I went into. And now I see the target. He's trying to gun for me, but again the Spitfire is faster, but not quite as maneuverable as the Macchi. But he's actually doing the smart thing now. He's staying reasonably fast. He's not getting into a small angle slow dogfight with me. He's trying to keep his speed, and what he's actually doing is preserving his energy and hoping that his Spitfire can eventually outperform my Macchi. And that's actually a pretty smart thing to do, as long as he keeps it fast, because I am at a lower energy than him. And as you can see, he's actually doing a reasonably good job. I can get a few shots in. Now he's in trouble because there's a Focke-Wulf D13 here. And he's still like fixating on me, trying to get to me. And I have slowly managed to gain advantage here on position. There's another hit there. It's just that these guns don't do much on deflection shots like that. You really need like a sustained burst on the single part on the enemy plane, and then it will start doing some damage. And the Focke-Wulf is obviously also interested in this target. So I'm just hoping he doesn't ram me or hit me or anything like that. So now the Spitfire is trying to make some distance along the river. You see the Focke-Wulf there on my right. I actually lost sight of it for a moment here, until I could see that it was just flying along the river and I could reacquire the target. So now I'm just waiting for him to do some maneuvers. He's pulling away right now because he's at the moment faster than my Macchi. What I do here is just fire a few bullets there to maybe harass him a little bit, maybe hit him, I don't know. I didn't really expect those to hit. But Mr. Lebowski in the Focke-Wulf D13 there is catching him fast. So what I'm hoping is that he will either kill him or force him to evade. And when he starts to maneuver I will be able to catch him again. And there he goes. He goes into the climbing turn. And I'm easily able to catch up now as he turns back towards me. I do high yo-yo, wing over, whatever it's called. Basically I slot into his tail. But Focke-Wulf is also in a close proximity. So at this point I managed to get into a pretty good position. But as I fire, the Focke-Wulf also hit him and removed his wing. So the Focke-Wulf got the kill there, and I got an assist, but I'm happy with that. And that was the last enemy aircraft, so that's it for this battle now. Just trying to avoid the flag the last few seconds of the mission here. So I hope you enjoyed this battle, and give some comments on how the commentary works. See you next time.